Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Movie Bucket. Hope you grabbed your popcorn, your soft drink, and maybe even a soft pretzel. It's time to talk about another movie. I'm Brook. I am a nice shark, not a mindless eating machine. If I am to change this image, I must first change myself. Fish are friends, not food. Except stinking dolphins.
Yeah, look at me. I'm a dolphin. Yeah.
And hi, I am River, and you touched the
Gag.
Ag.
butt. Gay gasp.
Gay gasp. And hola, I am Eduardo. And for a clownfish, he really isn't that funny.
Pity.
Katie.
If you can't tell, it's going to be one of those episodes, y'all. So to start us off for August and Childhood Movie Month, which this is one of my favorite things we're doing this year. I'm so excited for this month. This is a slate of really, really good movies. All five of these movies I really, really love, and this is no exception. We're going to be talking about Finding Nemo from 2003, our first Pixar film we've covered, which again, kind of wild.
Wow.
Eduardo, this was your choice. Go ahead and
Yes.
explain how this movie defined all three of our childhoods in some respect.
Well, yes, of course. It's just a movie that I absolutely adore. And also, when I was a small child, I used to watch it on repeat on DVD or VHS. I watched it so many times. Every time you talk to my family about it, they will tell you stories about me sitting down in front of the TV, watching it, quoting the movie back to the screen. I had a little toy Dory that I used to carry around under my armpit everywhere I went. Yeah, exactly. I used to carry Dory around everywhere I went, and I would just, quote the movie. So, yeah, this movie really defined my childhood. I rewatched it a bajillion times. It's just a perfect child movie. Like everyone that has kids should show this movie to their kids. Every child should watch this movie at least once. It's just a beautiful movie, and yeah, it means a lot to me.
Yeah. So Finding Nemo, starring and including but not limited to Albert Brooks, Ellen DeGeneres before she was a swear word, Alexander Gould, Willem Dafoe, Brad Garrett, Allison Janney, Stephen Root, Austin Pendleton, Vicki Lewis, Geoffrey Rush, Andrew Stanton, um, Eric Bana, Barry Humphries, Bob Peterson, and of course John Ratzenberger. Um, this cast, I'm just gonna quickly say,
Yes.
this cast eats. They put together an incredible ensemble for
It's blue.
ensemble for Finding Nemo. And God, the second we were doing this, I also was going to pick Finding Nemo for this month. And the big reason why, no, the big reason why is because one, I fucking love this movie. This is a movie
Yeah.
that I grew up with as well. It came out when I was 3, so perfect age for it. But also, just on top of that, this is, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I do believe this is the first movie I ever went to the theaters to see when I was 3 years old. And I do remember being woken up by my mom at the end because I definitely fell asleep. But hey,
Work.
when you're 3, those chairs are huge, big, and comfy, and it's
Oh
cold,
yeah.
like perfect sleeping.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging 3-year-old you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I probably didn't
Yeah.
snore back then, so it's a big improvement, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but God, this movie is so great. It's so funny. It's so pretty, and every year, I every time I watch this movie, I'm just like, oh God, I love it even more, and I feel like I get more appreciation for it the older and older I get.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy we're talking about it. And I'm also happy that I wasn't even the one that had to choose it. I still get 2 other picks this month when this would have been one of my picks. So I'm
Yeah, there you
thrilled.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. You're
You got the
welcome.
best of both worlds this month.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way,
Um,
I was 1 year old when this movie came out, but still watched it a bajillion times. Don't worry.
so I was well. It came out a little later in Brazil, so when I saw it, I was probably already 8. But it came out in May. My birthday's in July. I was 7, about to turn 8, when this movie came out. So I wasn't, I didn't fall asleep in the theater. I remember watching this in the theater and loving it. And mostly, this is a movie that I also have watched like so many times throughout my lifetime. But I either watched it like in the theater or when it was like on TV, and then I just like caught it when I lived in my grandma's house for most of my life, actually, like throughout many different ages and stages. So it usually like I would be watching TV on like her living room, where it would be just like cable, and then it would be on, and it would be usually dubbed in like the Brazilian dub. And I have seen this movie a couple of times in English, like, but not enough that I remember that much. Like, the memory that I have of watching this movie is in Portuguese. And this time I watched it in English, and it was a very nice experience. I think like you said, Brooke, the cast, like the voice acting is very good in English, as in the Portuguese version is also very good. There is one thing that I thought was, two things that I thought were funnier in the Brazilian dubbed version. Two specific, like, small moments. One is Nemo's nickname when he joins the tank hood.
Yes.
Because instead of saying, what's the word that they use?
Shark bait.
Shark bait.
Wow.
It's the Brazilian word for worm, which I think is cuter
Oh.
and makes more sense, because like that is what you use for fishing, whatever.
Yes,
So that I think is like, I remember having like, when they go like shark bait, ooh ha ha. Like that with the Brazilian name, like it's just so much, like that's a core memory for me. I love that so much. Yeah, like that, and like that with that is just better for me.
In Spanish, it's little shark instead of worm or anything. So it's tiburoncín. Wow.
Yeah. So in Portuguese, it's minhoca. Minhoca, ooh ha ha. It's really fun. It's just really fun to say. Yeah. But that moment is just funny. Like, it's funny in any language, you know what I mean? I just think it's funnier in Portuguese, and I like that nickname better. And also, surprisingly, the Just Keep Swimming song. I like it better in Portuguese. I still like it in English. It's like, it's fun either way. Again, the same thing. But that was something that I, like, the two things that I noticed that I was like, oh, I wish I like that better. I like that better.
Same here. I had the same experience.
It's not because of Ellen, though, because I don't like Ellen in general. In general.
Okay. So,
but I like her work in this movie. I like her work here.
Can we go ahead and get the Ellen elephant out of the room? The elephant out of the room, if we will. Okay, let's just be clear. Ellen's reputation has taken a pretty big hit since this movie came out and since the sequel Finding Dory came out. I'm just going to say this. Compared to some of the other people that we have talked about on this podcast very many times, her generally just being a bit of a bitch from what we can tell,
well,
it could be worse.
For me, something with her ex-girlfriend, but I digress.
Don't know about that. We'll talk about that off camera.
We talk later.
Off camera.
Yes.
But beside the point, I'm not going to be really... Ellen does not get the John Voight, Jenny McCarthy treatment from me. I'll just put it that way. Am I a fan? No, not really. Do I think she does good work in this movie? Yeah, I think she does pretty good work in this movie, all things considered. Yeah. I think, honestly, all of the voice cast does a really good job in this film. I would like to go ahead and give a couple of specific shout-outs, though. One, Albert Brooks, because of course Albert Brooks, playing Marlon in this movie. He does a really great job getting the levels of this performance down really well in a time where celebrity voice casting was becoming so prevalent. A guy with the filmography of Albert Brooks being able to roll into this movie and give arguably the best lead voice acting performance of a generation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say
it's It's funny you said that because literally, like, it's the one person that I was watching the movie and I was like, oh my God, this voice acting is so good. Who did that? Because I didn't know,
Yeah.
because I knew Ellen, right? I'm like, who did It's the one thing that I was like, who did this? And I went and looked and like, it really, I agree with you, it really stood out. It was really, really good.
Absolutely.
Well, and also importantly too, Albert Brooks, like he may not have the same name recognition to us as a lot of other people that are in this movie. He's like an Academy Award nominee. He's a writer, he's a director, he's been in a bunch of really, really good movies. And he's a very big, like prestige wise, he's very much there. And looking at where he's at in the future, like, down the line, he's been in a bunch of other really good stuff too. He also did Secret Life of Pets. He's in that. He's in Concussion. He got Oscar nominated for Broadcast News in the 80s. So like when you really look at his filmography for a celebrity voice casting role, I can't think of one in this time period that outperforms him in this movie. Like, I really can't.
Yeah.
At least not as the lead. I can think of a couple of antagonists that get given a little bit more to do that have some of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eddie Murphy as Donkey, but that's not a lead, but that's the closest that I can think of, like, quickly that comes to mind.
But even then, okay. I'm one of those people that if
it's not a lead, like, that's different, Well,
it's not even
I understand
that.
what you're saying.
No, it's not even where I was going to go with it. It's literally, if I'm listening to a voice acting performance, I like not being able to recognize somebody's voice, right? Yeah. Immediately.
So, like,
Eddie Murphy is fucking hysterical in Shrek. Do not get me wrong. But
you can tell that
I can tell it's Eddie Murphy. And in the same way in this movie, the other person who I love that I cannot match her voice to this character, I have tried for years. Mm-hmm. Allison Janney as Peach does not sound like Allison Janney to me. I don't know why. For years, I thought Peach was a dude because this sounds like a guy to me, and it always has. And I know it's Allison Janney. Yeah, Pete the Starfish. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Allison Janney. I have seen her in very many things. Yes, that is Mother. We love her to death.
Love.
But yes. I don't recognize her voice in this, and I don't know why, because she's not even really doing.
Literally, when you were reading the voice cast and you read her name, I was like, oh,
truly,
she's in this.
Yeah.
Isn't there another way? He's just a boy.
5 o'clock and cue dentist.
She's iconic. I think she's like. I think I have to agree. I think she has to be the one that surprised me the most out of anyone here, even Albert Brooks, even though he was amazing and did a really good job. I think she's the one that shocked me the most and the one that I have like the most memories about, maybe.
Also, Willem Dafoe as Gil.
Really good as well.
Love it.
Really good.
Yes.
I mean, it's Willem Dafoe. Everything Willem Dafoe does is pretty good.
No, literally.
Like, nothing comes to mind where I'm like, oh, yeah, he did fine, but he could have done better. Like, no, it's always like, oh, he does really good job.
No flops.
Truly.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting because, God, Willem Dafoe is such a weird list of voice acting performances underneath his belt. No, and I say this with love because I really do love Willem Dafoe, but like if you look at his like list of voice acting roles he's done, right?
Yeah.
It's like Finding Nemo, right? And then Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then the English dub of Tales from Earthsea.
Love it.
And then he did Ryuk in the live action version of Death Note. So it's like
hello,
the range.
This crazy list of movies. He's also in Boy and the Heron. I think I should also add that in there.
Of course.
Oh, nice.
The English dub, of course. But like, no, Willem Dafoe's just been like up, down, up, down. No shade. It's just that the live action Death Note.
Yeah, that's
wild.
I don't know. Yeah.
Not good. Not good. Spoiler, not good.
I believe you.
Not good. not right.
Can we also I know this is not like a new like a genius take or like a unique take, but I had never thought about this until watching it this time. But this is Taken, basically, for kids before Taken.
A little bit, yeah. I hadn't thought about it,
Like
but yeah,
it's Taken,
yeah.
but with fish.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
one
except
could argue
Molly-
that Taken is
Taken is Finding
for
Nemo
humans.
with people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Taken
that's,
is Finding
that's
Nemo.
exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Actually, that's correct. Thank you.
That's actually correct. Yes.
That's the statement.
Well, unfortunately, Molly does not get on the phone and tell the dentist, "I will find you, and I will kill you."
And I will kill
And I think that would have been iconic to hear Albert Brooks say that with the face of a fish.
you.
It's crazy to me because I remember when this got re-released, because they got a re-release. I don't know if it was just in the US, but it got a re-release in 2012 in 3D. And I remember going to see it then, and I was like, this is pretty, but it's not as pretty as I remember it. And then I remembered why, because 3D effects in movies always look like crap.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's just
It's
not.
not.
Good.
She's not that girl.
3D
She's
makes
not that girl.
everything bad. Yes.
It makes
Stop
everything
trying
bad.
to make 3D happen. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Not
Just
gonna
let it
happen.
go.
So
Let it go.
it was really nice getting to look at this movie again, because this movie is so
It's so
pretty.
beautiful.
It's
Like visually
beautiful.
fucking stunning.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like
But she's
the
beautiful.
beautiful. Like the scene where Nemo goes on his first day of school and he's swimming with the whole school.
Seaweed
he
is
gets to
cool.
see-
Seaweed is fun.
Yeah, and he gets to see all the fish and all of like the coral and everything. It's genuinely so breathtakingly beautiful.
The
It's
coral.
insane.
Well,
Not the
All right.
not for
Jeez.
long. At this,
R.I.P.
at this rate, not for long. Not for long.
R.I.P. Coral. Shout out to
R.I.P.
you. You were
fish
real
and
one.
corals.
You
R.I.P.
tried
Nemo and
to save your kids so hard.
Can we talk about the fact that freaking Barracuda at the beginning of this movie is arguably one of the single most murderous characters in the history of Disney?
Yeah.
Girl,
He-
okay.
That barracuda
Okay.
killed 140 children and one mother. Like that's
The fish
insane.
genocide.
The
I
fish
can't-
genocide.
Oh my god. Okay, one thing that I want, because I'm a Cancer. I'm a water girl. I have always, since I can remember, loved the ocean, but
Yes.
equally feared it.
Of course.
And I remember this movie, like, it's still watching as an adult. Like, of course, it's different because you know logically more. But it's still like pretty scary, like the scary moments, the things that they go through during this adventure.
Yes.
But oh my god, it was so scary as a kid. Like the scary moments as a kid were so genuinely scary to me because I'm like so afraid of the ocean, of like the deep, like what is under the ocean. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the anglerfish, the shark, like the jellyfish, all of that, like terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Getting stuck inside a whale. Oh my god.
Pinocchio wishes.
Yeah, it's really. God, I forget how many lines in this movie are quotable to me because I've watched it so many damn times. Like
Yeah.
every time we talk about anything, my brain is just flashing to a different line of dialogue that I want to just spew. Of like,
Yes.
that's eating us. How do I taste, Moby? Huh? Do I taste good? Like, it's just every time we've talked about a different scene in the movie, it's just like I feel like I could throw dialogue out from this film just kind of wherever.
Yeah.
Because again, it has such snappy dialogue that it really does feel. I hesitate to say this. It kind of feels like the Pixar version of Juno in the way of like the dialogue is so quippy that like it works. It really works.
Yeah. He hasn't been
like, it's funny,
decontaminated
it's
yet.
so- It's so cool. Like you said, it's so quotable. Like it's so funny and heartfelt at the same time, in a very like perfect mix of both, and of like, and it's. I like that it's more adventure. Like we spend more time on the adventure part of the story of Marlene getting to Nemo and Nemo trying to get back and like all of that.
Yes.
And more. So we spend more time with that than with the message of the film, which I enjoy because I like when of course, I like that a movie has a message, right? But I don't want it to be like hitting on that note like throughout the whole movie all the time. Like I want it to be subtle. I want it to be, about the journey and not the destination or whatever,
Yeah.
And I think this movie does that very, very well. Like it's very well written. The pacing is great. Like the mix of emotional moments and funny moments and all of that. It's just like, it's just really well done. And also one thing two things that I ponder. This is what I think when I watch this shit like this. So 2 things. If Nemo's mother hadn't moved in that first scene, would that big fish still have attacked them?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
It would have eaten
Right.
the babies.
Probably, but maybe I don't. Yeah. Like that's just something that I was like, well, she kind of anyway. But the other thing, and this is very unserious, but it's just a thought that I had. We see the kids like all going to school and everything. Do the fish parents go to work in this universe? We
Doesn't
don't
seem
know.
like it.
We don't know.
The only working fish that I think we see ever is that
the teacher.
one. It's the teacher, and we also see
guard.
like the crossing guard.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's a
Because
volunteer.
I'm like, what
position,
does Marlin do? And did he get fired from his job because he took time off to go look for Nemo?
Yeah, FMLA.
You know what I mean?
And
For the
also,
medical leave.
like,
It's fun.
I also
Yeah,
think it's funny because at the beginning of the movie, he talks about like the anemone as if it was a condo or a house. He was like, fish really wanted this, but we're the ones that got it. So that makes me wonder if there's like fish real estate.
Right? Or do they like fight for it? Like, do they battle physically for it? Like, do they race for it? I don't like the anemone. I love him.
Don't hurt yourself, kid. Just get on.
Oh God. But no, but like every little bit of this movie, I feel like I'll say almost every bit of this movie is needed. And I think it kind of like builds up to a really satisfying ending. And I think the plot is just really great. I want to touch on some of my favorite parts of this movie. One, I love every single second of the EAC. I love the turtles.
See, I was literally going to say the same
Obviously.
thing.
Oh, dude.
Let us see what young Squirt does flying solo.
I'm gonna put Squirt on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, can we talk about the inspired? One of the best jokes in this movie is Crush telling Marlin not to throw up on his shell because he just waxed it, which is such a funny joke. Oh my God. And
literally everything that comes out of Crush's mouth. Love it.
Do you guys get why it's so funny? Because
Car?
Surfboard wax or car wax.
Yes.
Car and surfboard?
Either.
Okay, surf wax, yes. But also there is a company that makes cleaning products called Turtle Wax. That's like
I see.
So it's like it's a very layered joke. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Finding Nemo.
Makes it funnier, yes.
Yes.
So
I aspire to be like Crush, dude.
150,
like,
dude. And still young.
Rock on.
Oh gosh.
Give me some
He's amazing.
noggin, dude.
I mean, there's a reason why Crush is the one that gets the Q&A in, I think it's Dreamland, like Disney World or wherever it is. That's why he's the one that gets the Q&A and not like Nemo or Marlin. It's Crush because he's so iconic.
If you have not taken the time out of your day to go watch clips of children at Turtle Talk with Crush at Disney World,
yes,
go do that because
go watch it.
So they made a bunch of different animated like scenes and like visuals of Crush in the ocean, right? And then they have a cast member off to the side doing a Crush impression directly answering kids in the crowd, like whatever they ask. So some of the questions are really fun because I mean most of the time it's like 6, 7-year-olds, so they ask very basic questions. One of my favorites is this entire clip where he's like, "What's your favorite color?" "Well, I live in the ocean. I eat green sea kelp, but I have a green shell, and I'm green." He's like, "So what do you think my favorite color is?" "Green." "No, it's purple." Like it's so. And
I love it.
And he also apparently, by the way, fun fact, Crush has over 40 children. Over 40 children, canonically, because of Turtle Talk.
Swag.
There you go.
All right.
So I highly recommend looking at that. But also, it's just really, God, there's so much to like about this movie that it's kind of hard to not just say, God, this movie's perfect.
Yeah.
Because like the plot's really well done, and Marlin's character development is amazing. Nemo's character development is really good. Dory's character development is really great. The sharks have really good character development in this movie.
The sober/vegan sharks is so funny.
I love the AA meeting. That was crazy.
So crazy. So okay, I wanted to quickly just mention because you were talking about the great character arcs and development of the main characters, right? And because here's what, and then you're talking about the shark. One of my points that I took notes on is that all of the characters in this movie are so well written. The main characters and the side characters, every single one, they are all like so unique. They are like, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Every single character, just perfection.
Every single character has a character trait that makes it different, right?
Makes it unique. Yeah, it's so well done.
Yeah.
Can I tack on very quickly one of my favorite animation things this movie does, and it's so small that people may not even realize it. It's when Dory bleeds a little bit, right? And Bruce is inhales the blood, and then he goes into a feeding frenzy. And his eyes have like little dot pupils in the white, and then if you watch his eyes during that scene, the pupils just completely overtake his eye, right? And then of course we have that intervention, and then things go from there. But God, the animation of Bruce is stellar. The fact that this is something that we were able to achieve in 2003 is kind of insane. There's a specific if you look at the production tab on the Wikipedia page for this, they talk about how they specifically looked at fish movement and human movements and facial expressions to make them look and feel like real characters. I don't think there's a single character in this movie that embodies that more than Bruce, because his little small movements even feel like a shark. Having seen sharks in person before, it's almost perfect. I it's so incredible to look at.
Yeah. I have not had the pleasure of seeing a shark, but yeah, I think the animation of this movie is, as I've said before, jaw-droppingly beautiful. It's absolutely insane, the things that they're able to do, and there's a bunch of little details that are wild that they were able to get into it. One of the things that I really liked, and it's very small, and I'm sure no one caught on to it, but I like that every time that Nemo and Marlin go either in or out of the anemone, you can hear the stinging of the anemone, and you can kind of hear the sounds that the anemone would make,
the fish, they're brushing against it.
Yeah, you can hear it brush against it. You can hear the stinging that would normally affect a normal fish. You can hear it, and that is, to me, to add that detail shows that there's a lot of love and a lot of care put into this movie to show that those little details and to actually care about actual marine biology and understanding how the ocean works. So huge props to the people that made this movie, because God, it must have taken so much effort, and it does not go unnoticed. And give huge props to whoever worked in this movie because God, I wish I could, and the work that you were able to do is jaw-droppingly amazing.
Mm-hmm.
True. Agree. Because okay, a lot of people think Dory is annoying, and that is true. I love Dory. I don't know how you feel about Dory. I love Dory personally. I relate a lot to a lot of things.
Mhm.
But one of my favorite, like the introduction of her and Marling is so funny to me when she they meet whatever, and then she's like, oh, follow me, whatever, and then he's following her, and then she's like,
She forgets.
and then she's like, why are you following me? It's so
Isn't there
funny.
enough ocean for you? Huh?
Great.
Oh, I love her. And when she gets hurt, I get so like it always gets me so sad.
Mm-hmm.
So oh my God, like my girl doesn't catch a break. And then in the end she gets stuck in the net again. I'm like, my girl doesn't catch a break.
Yeah, so that's probably okay. I understand its point within the narrative, and I think it makes a ton of sense, right? Because this is Nemo proving to Marlin that he is capable, and not just Marlin recognizing to trust Dory and Nemo that they're both capable. But I wish it would have been staged differently, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of wish instead of them being able to like reconcile and then Dory gets scooped up and all this other stuff, I kind of wish it would have been like the net comes and like breaks them apart as they're about to reunite. So that way the impact of the post scene would be a little bit harder. Because this is honestly my biggest gripe with the movie is that the second reconciliation right after the first one, which is so much more impactful, just feels a bit cheap. It feels a bit, I don't want to say lazy, but it feels a bit redundant. We've already done this. We've been here, done that before. Yeah. Why is Nemo suddenly passed out underneath this net? It didn't seem like anything hit him. It didn't seem like anything pushed him down. Like, the net that he could have clearly avoided in this water. Okay, like, sure, Jan. Get your Oscar-winning moment, Diva. Congratulations.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I low-key, like, agree with you. It doesn't really bother, like, I agree with you, but it doesn't really bother me, right? But, like, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
However, did I cry when they went from that scene of Marlin holding Nemo as an egg and then Nemo waking up and going, Dad, I don't hate you? Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. I did. And I'm not ashamed of it.
But can we imagine? Okay, so if they do the exact same thing, but they don't have the,
it would have been. I would have cried more. That's why I say I agree. I would have.
That would be like one of the most iconic moments in cinema to be, probably.
Yeah.
Like I will just.
If it was like right, but like if the net fell like in between when they were like they have seen each other and they're going towards each other, and in that moment the net comes in between. Like yes, I agree. 100%.
If the net comes in between them, pulls up Nemo and Dory, Nemo realizes he can get out of the net because he's
like
tiny.
A small second. Like it's a very small thing, but I do agree that it would change. Like it's still what I say is it doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the movie for me. I still like it just as much. I never thought about this actually. Like it's the first time that I'm actually thinking about this. But I do wish they would have done that. Like I think that would have been even better.
Yeah,
and more impactful. Yes,
but I will say. I do really like Marlin's. God, I want to talk about Marlin like specifically because he seems like he has got. This is his. He had such a big traumatic moment happen to him, and he lost almost everything through no fault of his own, and through no fault of his.
Nothing he could do to stop it either.
Nothing he could do to stop it. It was the universe not being safe and foolproof. Right. And that terrified him. And it put him through such a traumatic experience that he then resulted in becoming a helicopter parent, obsessed with making sure that his disabled son could be okay and be safe in the world around him. Which also, quick note, Finding Nemo, surprisingly strong disability rep. Thank you very much.
I was thinking, yes. Now that you brought it up.
several
Yeah.
characters here have disabilities, which is crazy.
True. Dory, Gil, Nemo.
Sheldon is
Uh,
H2O intolerant.
Sheldon has sexual intolerance.
True.
There's some. The entire tag has
So they
like
talk
some
about they
psychological
talk
things.
about addiction and recovery lightly, touch on it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We get
Life
to
is crazy.
see the entirety of an AA meeting. Like that's incredible.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it is.
But no,
I've
we
never
get to
seen
see-
that. I have no experience with that. That was news to me.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
but then
I had to say that during childhood month. I'm sorry. I had to. It's just. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not right now. We can't
Low
right now.
drop for those
So
of you that don't know, low drop, I guess.
I'm being a
drop.
kid and I'm doing too much. I'm sorry.
There you go.
But I love how Marlin, when he thinks he has found a way to keep Nemo as safe as possible, and hell, none of this would have even happened had Marlin not even went out to go get Nemo from the drop off, right?
Mhm.
Because would Nemo have been a rebellious little teenager and went to go touch the butt had Marlin not, in Nemo's mind, embarrassed the shit out of him for no good reason, right? Probably not. And we can even see he wasn't really even planning on going out when Sheldon and the other two whose names I forget, them.
And Marley.
The reason I remember Sheldon is because they call it out by name. But
yeah, but like Marley also doesn't even want to hear about it because Nemo says like I wasn't, because Marley comes in and he says like, oh, don't do it, whatever. And Nemo says I wasn't going to, and Marley doesn't even seem to have listened to that, and just it doesn't matter, know.
Well, it
which, like you said, I 100% understand like Marlin's overprotectiveness and all of that. It is so it is so valid.
It's understandable.
Yeah. And it's understandable that Nemo finds it annoying. Because
Yes. I understand it, but that does not make it right. It's one of those things, right?
Exactly.
I understand why Marlin acts the way that he does, but he is not doing right by Nemo by acting the way that he is.
When both sides are simultaneously wrong and right in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the case with Marlin. But yeah, speaking of Marlin, I think this movie hit harder when it comes to like touching on subjects of grief and parenthood as an adult than it did as a kid, because as a kid, personally, I had no experience with issues with not having a mother, or like having issues with a father, or dealing with grief. But now that I am older and, I've dealt with grief, I've had issues with my father, I've had a while where I wasn't talking to my mother, this movie hits a lot harder, and I relate to Nemo even a lot more now as an adult than I did as a kid, because I kind of understand him a little bit better now. But seeing, a father that loves his child so much that he's willing to go out into the world that he himself fears so much and to do something about it really like made me feel like, yes, you might have issues with someone that you love, someone in your family, but they will always be there for you. They will always love you. They will always have your back. And it just, it felt nice to remember that there's always someone that in there that has your back and that will love you no matter what. So yeah, it felt nice. And it felt nice to, relate again to a movie like this. And it just makes this movie better, right? When you relate to something like it, and it hits as hard as it does. So it was just nice to have that moment.
I do want to say, just to stay on the topic of Marlin, like Nemo, there's a moment where Nemo thinks that his dad is like not looking for him because he knows that his dad is like afraid of the ocean, whatever. And then when he finds out that Marlin is looking for him and is doing all of that and whatever, and finds that out, that gives him then the courage to do something that he's scared of, which is doing, stopping the engine, whatever, and doing all of that. And so I think like there's a lot of small moments that are so huge at the same time that like have kind of that, the growth, the learning, the message, and all of that. And it's just they're all very strong as well, in my opinion. And also immediately, like, we see 2 times, like, we know how scared Marlin is of the ocean, but when it comes down to it, the 2 times where he needed to do, like, he didn't hesitate for a second going after Nemo or Dory, who he had just met but cared for. Immediately, like, when she got hurt with the jellyfish and he was already out, he immediately, like, went back in, like, straight, like, yeah. Love that.
Well, I want to unpack a little bit here, because at this point in the movie, right, we've seen, Marlin and Dory have went to the Shark AA meeting, right? They had that battle with the anglerfish, and Dory got the address on the back of the mask, and the 2 of them are, like, making good progress. But Marlin does not trust Dory. It's not for anything that she has particularly done. It's that she's flighty, and by that I mean her brain is flighty. She has a short-term memory loss going on. So she's, trying to be productive and helpful, and she is being productive and helpful. For some reason, P. Sherman 42 all the way Sydney has wormed its way into her brain, and she remembers, right? And she can't not remember it. And then we have that little scene with the school of fish and the trench, right? And he doesn't listen to Dory's judgment. They go over the trench into the fish forest, right? And after they get out, they do the EAC thing, and they get swallowed up by the whale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to see,
back.
Yeah, because Marlin trusted Dory, right, and let her speak well to the whale, right? And then they get eaten by the whale, and Marlin's like, "Well, this is what I get for trusting Dory, pretty much," right? But then he has to think about it and recognize that maybe this isn't everything that he's supposed to be. Like, this isn't the end just because you're inside of a whale, right? And when the whale is, the water's draining inside the whale's mouth, the tongue goes up, and Dory looks at him and goes, "It's time to go." And Marlin says, "How do you know something bad isn't going to happen?" And Dory says, "I don't," right?
Yeah.
That's when I think Marlin finally recognizes what he has to be for Nemo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes,
what Dory was for him in that moment, you mean?
Yeah, Dory was for him in that moment was it was the gentle push of saying, "This is what we need to do. It is scary. We don't know what's going to turn out okay. In this situation, it may be life or death, but it will always be life or death." But also in that same scene in the whale's mouth, we have Dory saying that you can't let anything never happen to him, then nothing would ever happen to him.
Never.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so we see how, it turns out well. They get out. The whale was literally just taking them to Sydney, right? And that's when Marlin feels like a fully realized character. And then he interacts with Nemo, right? And when we see the interactions with Nemo after all of this stuff with Dory, and we get to see, has Marlin grown to treat Nemo the same way he is treating Dory and trusting Dory, right? Mm-hmm. Can he trust Nemo the same way? And at first, he is so terrified and honestly probably still traumatized about losing Coral and all of his babies, right?
Yeah.
That he doesn't want to risk it because Hughes went all this way to get his one only child left and save him. But Nemo tells him, "I know this is going to work. You have to trust me." And he does. And that just shows you just how great of a character Marlin is. Marlin has this, I'm going to say a very bold statement here on the internet. I think this is legitimately one of the single best character arcs in any animated movie I have ever seen in my life. He's incredible.
I wouldn't say I agree like to that level. I won't refute it either, but I will say that I agree that it's like one of the best for sure. One of the best for sure. I do want to say, because I love your reflection of all of this here. Like, to me, the way that because I agree with everything you said, and I love that. It's a message of hope, because it's Dory is teaching Marlin that you need to have hope, and or hope and trusting your instincts as well, like having trusting your gut feeling, because Dory, when she said I don't, it's kind of like you have no option other than to trust your gut at certain points. And Marlon knows that like he didn't trust Dory. Dory trusts her gut, right? When she wanted to go like through the thing, and he didn't trust her, and she was right. So he was like, you know what? It's the message. It's the lesson of like learning with her as well. Like he's learning from her to be more free and fearless, but at the same time like trust yourself as well. And she's learning from him to like be more observant, be more responsible, think a little bit more, and all of that. So like they are like to watch them throughout the movie learning from each other. I will say more Marley learning from Dory than vice versa. I will say, but still, is something that is really nice. And I will say I do relate coming from. I did have both of my parents raising me. My father has passed now as I am an adult. But they were separated, so I was kind of raised by my mom in a way like that, like a single mother. But my mother was very overprotective, and I am a single child. So I relate to like a lot of that feeling of like the overprotectiveness and like understanding, because also my mother wanted to have more kids and she didn't. Yeah. So like there's also that, you know what I mean? Like you understand, but it's also like, stop, please let me live. Very overprotective by Britney Spears was my jam. As a teenager, that was my song. But also we were breaking the fourth wall. We were talking a little bit before, and the scene where they are hanging from the whale's tongue was happening while I was putting in the offer for my apartment, scared shitless of making that jump. Yeah. So I was like, you know, what you mentioned of like when you're watching when you watch something and you relate to it in some kind of way, like. That's just happened to, you know, coincide and happen at the same time. Yeah. But I felt like it was so poetic that it happened during that specific scene of the movie, right? Where it kind of is of that, trust your gut, take the jump, take the leap, whatever, like let go. Yeah. And anyway.
You never know what's going to happen,
Yeah, which to me, as like my witchy self, I feel like that's, you know, a good
omen. Yeah.
It's a good thing, you know, it's, you know, but anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
No, this movie touches on a lot of things that I think is very interesting and very cool. Like we've already touched on, you know, fatherhood and grief and everything. But yeah, I think
also friendship.
Like, and a lot of I think all of the subjects that it touches on well, and it gives it time to actually like give something interesting to say about that topic instead of just kind of brushing over it and saying something like that. And I am glad that like different parts of this movie have hit each of us in a different way and have made us like feel something important about it. So that just makes me like this movie even more, right? Because I already liked it because it touches on, you know, grief and dealing with it and how grief affects a person and how it can affect you and other people around you and your family. But now it just also, now that I can share it with y'all and share it like in this way, it just makes it better. So, yeah.
I was going to say there was one thing that I was thinking, two things. Like it's really nice. One thing that I love about movies and just art in general is how, depending on what time of our lives we interact with it, we have a different reaction. We feel different. Like we see different things. Like we feel different. I just love that so much. And with this movie, I felt it very specifically here in this experience. It was, you know, because also, like I mentioned with when we were talking about the scene at the end where Nemo's like under the net and he says, I don't hate you, Dad, whatever. I cried because like it's the first time I watched this movie after my dad passed. And that got me, because that's kind of how like I wasn't able to tell my dad that before, because he passed and we were not speaking. So but he knew I didn't hate him. You know what I mean? Like we were just, you know, but he knew I loved him. So it's not like, that's fine. Yeah. But that's kind of like, that got me because that's kind of, you know, I have a complicated relationship with him. He hurt me a lot. Like there's a lot of things, but it's very it's like, no matter like at the end of the day, like I don't hate you. I like still. So that scene I think got me this time a lot, and that's why I cried as well, because of that. Because it's very that because Nemo said it to him. It was like the last thing he said to his dad before they were separated. So, I kind of related to that as well.
Something I want to touch on very quickly as we are, I feel like we've sung a lot of praises today. And we haven't really said anything too critical. There is a couple of things I want to talk about that aren't amazing to me, and I think they are things that we should discuss. One, I think there is a bit of a time loss between them getting the mask, like getting the address off the mask with the anglerfish, and then going into the School of Fish scene. I feel like there's a bit of a jump there that doesn't read super well to me, and I know that's because we're in the tank during that time period. I just wish there was a better transition for Marlin and Dory specifically, jumping back in there. So I think that's something that could maybe be fixed. If this, again, we're nitpicking here. I want to get some criticism so that way they know that we're not just going in with full nostalgia goggles here, because I do think it would be very easy to do. And I know we have our opinions on it. But maybe that transition could have been fixed a little bit more. We talked about the ending scene with the net, maybe make that a little bit better. I also think it's a bit fun I do like having all of the characters like show up in the reef at the end, but like the idea that Bruce, Anchor, and Chum would get anywhere near that reef without alarm bells going off is absurd to me. But
I just quickly mentioned that I love just because you read it. I love Squirt being an exchange student at the end, like
coming back to JC, dude.
Yes, it's so fun.
Okay. Also, imagining that these are like humanoid versions of these characters. Mr. Ray definitely smoked weed with some turtles back in the day.
Oh, absolutely, he did.
Also, I will show you after. There's a guy on Instagram that is like the human crush, like actually.
Hell yeah!
I'll show you later.
I love those people.
And the other thing I wanted to mention very quickly is that I find it to be a bit of a negative. I do think there are a couple of characters in this film who are slightly on the more annoying side than maybe they are intended to be by the creators. I am not going to name names here. Deb. I am not going to name names here. Gurgle. I'm not going. Okay, half of the tank crew just gets on my nerves. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Well,
Gurgle, who's the like germaphobe fish, yeah, he's annoying. Deb, she's annoying.
Deb is annoying, but Flo isn't.
Flo is not. Flo is great. Love Flo. But Deb, she's annoying. I love Bloat. Bloat's great. I love Peach. Peach is great. Jacques cracks me the fuck up every time.
Love Jacques.
Specifically when Jacques is controlling the ring of fire on the volcano and he's doing the
yes, so
that makes me laugh.
Iconic.
But Bubbles, God, I like
Bubbles. My Bubbles.
I wish they would do more with Bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Then just
have more Bubbles jokes. I want more Bubbles.
Yeah.
More Bubbles. Yes.
More Bubbles.
But he was funny still.
Yeah. But Deb and Gurgle get on my nerves a little bit, I must say.
I only really had a problem with Deb, I'm gonna be honest. Gurgle didn't bother me that much, but it was Deb.
I really like this is the first time that I even thought about it never really I love it.
Yeah, but even then, like Deb didn't annoy me that much. It was just like, oh, she's not my favorite character. Like that's it.
So the whole thing
it doesn't annoy me enough. It's just like, whatever.
It's just okay, so Bubbles, Gurgle, and Deb all have the problem of all the jokes that they have are all the same joke, right? It is the same joke over and over and over again, right? With Bubbles, actually, maybe the right amount of Bubbles happened in this movie because I don't think Bubbles' joke got overused in the same way
It was
that
just
Gurgle's
enough.
joke and Deb's joke got overused in this movie.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that kept Bubbles in the entertaining, and I still want to go Bubbles every time I think about Bubbles. My Bubbles. You also gotta think this came out around the time Lord of the Rings is coming out too, so maybe it was a little
My
bit more
precious.
my precious joke.
Oh, very
My
nice.
precious. My bubbles.
Yeah.
Bubbles. My bubbles.
Yeah. Also, and then the other thing is the School of Fish scene is a little fast. I wish there was a little bit more of an interaction there, just so that way it would feel a little bit deeper to me. Because it kind of just happens. It's nothing crazy, and it's funny. Like, I do like some of the jokes that get told here, but for your John Ratzenberger cameo, this is what we're giving him. Feels a little lazy. I'm just going to say a little lazy. This lazy for John Ratzenberger. Like, you could.
I mean, yeah.
For the Pixar man, the guy who at one point was in literally every Pixar film, this is what we're giving him. We could do better. We could do better for ourselves. Is all.
That is true. Yeah.
I wanted to shout out quickly.
He shall be my squishy.
I wanted to shout out quickly every wrong name that Dory calls Nemo. Bingo,
Okay.
Harpo, Elmo,
Hello.
Chico, Fabio.
Chico. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fabio.
Fabio.
He
Yes,
lost his
forgot
son,
Fabio.
Fabio.
Yes. So good. So good.
Love that.
Also, one moment that I love from her, and I will say, as an autistic person that has a hard time maintaining real life friendships, the no one's ever stuck with me for so long before line always fucking gets me every time.
Yeah, that's
every
fucking,
single time.
that's
Because
good.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well,
same.
as a Finding Dory
I feel
fan, highly recommend. I will say, I like Finding Dory quite a bit too. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, one, the last 5 minutes of that movie don't exist, and you can't convince me that they do. But also, that movie's just relatable and good. Like, if you want to watch another good movie with a lot of the same voice cast, go watch Finding Dory. It's a great movie. Importantly, as well, we do get to know that a lot more about Dory as a character, but we also get to see how Marlin and Nemo's relationship evolves, and it's a lot healthier in Finding Dory, and they are still in a good spot, which makes me feel better about this movie in the long term. Marlin still has to learn how to trust characters again, like Becky, but he gets there, and you know what? That's important. So
Yes.
shout outs to Sigourney Weaver, who is also in Finding Dory.
Oh,
Shout out to
always.
legend. Icon.
Yes. I also love that everyone, like, we end with them getting together, whatever, and all of that, but also everyone escaping from the tank at the end, but like still having to escape. Like, we don't know how they escaped from the plastic bags. It's just like, well, we got here, but what now?
What now?
And what
So
now?
what now?
Yeah. I also love there were two like small things from other Disney movies that I caught here. One is in the dentist's office, like the waiting room, there's a Buzz Lightyear in the like kids' toys. There's a little Buzz. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the pelican being used as a means of transportation could be referencing the rescuers, but carrying fish now instead of rats.
Yeah,
Or
There's
rats.
another allusion to Pixar movies in this movie too. So
But I said Disney because the rescuers is not Pixar, but
well, yeah. So there's the like younger boy that like comes in is like reading that magazine while everything's going on with our
Oh yeah.
with the chaos going on, yeah.
Yeah, the back cover of that magazine is Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch
Which
that.
I will.
Okay, cool.
So this is also in the time period where Pixar was like teasing their next movie somewhere in the movie, because the year before this, Monsters Inc. came out and they had the little Nemo plushie in Boo's bedroom at the end of the movie. So like they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. So are we feeling good and feeling fine? We don't need men, they waste our time.
Feeling gorgeous.
Looking good, feeling gorgeous.
Yeah. Love it.
Looking good and feeling fine.
Love Finding Nemo. Love it.
Pink.
Love
Pink.
Love Nemo. Love Nemo.
Okay, so it's now the time to talk about scores that will be starting with Eduardo.
Yes, of course. It should come as no shock, my score, because I've only sang praises about this movie. This movie has a special place in my heart. Obviously, I relate to it a lot. There's so much I love about this movie, and the animation really just makes it even better. So, to shock no one, I will give this a 5 out of 5. Wow, what a shock! Who would guessed?
River.
Yes. I really love this movie. Like we talked about how it's not like 100% like a truly perfect flawless movie, but it's pretty damn fucking close, right? And the small little flaws that do exist within it, does it really matter? Not really. Not to me personally, because to me it's also a 5-star. 5 stars. Period.
Well, I have went back and forth throughout this recording with my score.
Fuck you, Brook.
I have come very close.
How very dare you?
How dare you?
Here's what I think. Here's where I'm at. Let me talk, damn it. Okay.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
Into this recording, I was like,
I'm gonna
5.
pretend that I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. So it's 5s all the way, and I did. We praised it. I have a lot of really good feelings about this movie. There are problems, and I do think that those problems do affect my enjoyment of certain parts of this movie. I want to. Hey, you want honesty?
I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
I know. I'm bantering with you, River. I'm bantering with you. It's okay.
No, you should eat glass and die. Actually,
Schitt's Creek.
I'm ready. I'm ready to show. I'm ready to show the punch.
I'm watching Golden Girls, so I should say eat dirt and die.
Yes. Yeah. So I have decided to give this a 4.5. I'm sorry. It's just
you have taken this away from me. You don't understand. You've taken away my perfect score. This was the only chance I had to have a perfect score in this movie of this year. How dare you? How dare you? This was my only shot.
The audacity.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
The reason I gave this a 4.5, and I want to be abundantly clear, right? There are 4 reasons. Reason number 1 is Deb. Reason number 2 is Gurgle. They are not the only reason, but they are contributing factors that lower it. Okay. 2, I think there's a couple of times where the transitions feel a bit awkward and they don't really feel naturally flowy for me. And it does make the flow of the movie feel a bit weird. Not to be confused with the flow of the movie, FLO, not Deb. And then, and then finally, we didn't really touch on it. Kind of a weak score, and I know that might be a hot take. I don't think the score is that strong. I think the score is a little weak. Not bad, just not enough to boost it.
It's not prominent. It's very
it's
basic.
not prominent. If the score was really good, I would give it a 5. It's just it would have been extra credit to get it over the.
I respectfully disagree, but I hear you.
I disrespectfully disagree, and I will find you.
You will get
Eduardo, okay, hold on. Let me look and see what you have left for the year. No, you have multiple other times this year you could get a perfect score.
No. Let's be so for real. I don't.
From all
October?
3 of us?
October?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's
you are you really telling me you don't think you could get one in October?
Yeah, I think I could actually. Maybe. Never mind.
And honestly, there's a world where you could get one in December as well. Because there is a movie you have in December. So. There is one movie you have in December that I think could, in theory, be a perfect score.
Lord, I hope so.
We shall see.
Because those are my only shots. Those are my only shots. You already have.
Well, I mean,
one.
also
I don't
September.
have
You
any.
haven't finalized your slate for September yet, so we'll see what we're
Yeah,
gonna
that
end
is true. So we will see.
And besides, this is how I felt after Akira, so I feel like I have gotten mine back.
Fine. Fine.
Oh, so that's what we're doing. Oh, I see.
So,
God.
now that we've discussed Finding Nemo, it's time to talk about our next episode. So next week is my turn for the month, my first turn. I get 2 this month. And I wanted to talk about a movie from my childhood that is not a movie made for children. It's a movie made for young adults and honestly adults. I think this is just a really great movie. Starring some incredible actors of the time period. We're looking at a film by John Hughes. So we're looking in the 80s with a really great ensemble cast and honestly one of my emotionally defining movies of my entire life, and I have a strong feeling I am going to be on the opposite end of this Finding Nemo effect next week. But we're talking about The Breakfast Club next week, which is a movie I grew up watching from the time I was like 9 to on. It's a movie that came up that was made before all of us were born, but it's a movie that is really near and dear to my heart. And even if my friends don't like it, fuck it, I still do, and that's all that matters to me. Yeah, we're talking about Breakfast Club this week. And like we mentioned when we were originally bringing up this topic, it's not just movies made for kids, it's movies we watched when we were kids. So
from our particular personal childhoods. Yes.
So then after that, or your tease for 2 weeks from now is River's choice for the month. River, what would you like to tease the people with?
I will leave you with a tiny hint. Or 2, maybe.
Possibly
right?
3?
Maybe 2.
Maybe 4?
Maybe 4, right? But okay, I was trying to think like, what is the hint gonna be? Well, the other hint. We will be doing a movie with one of my favorite childhood dads, like movie dads, played by Rick Moranis, the one and only, father, Rick Moranis.
So, if you don't know, that dead giveaway at this point.
This
you,
tiny hint.
It's tiny hint.
It's very small, somewhat minuscule hint.
So let us know down below, what do you think of this honestly incredible film, Finding Nemo? Let us know down below when you watched it for the first time, and if it was part of your childhoods, because it was definitely a part of all 3 of ours. So thank you so much for joining us today as we talked about Finding Nemo, but we have unfortunately ran out of popcorn, drank our entire soft drink, and no one ever gets more than 1 soft pretzel. So we are going to get out of here, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.